Hello, welcome back. I hope you're doing very well. Quick little video today showing you a workaround or a hack to address the latency that is added to audio coming into the external inputs on the force. What's basically going on here is because the internal instruments on the force are basically going straight out, whereas the audio from an external instrument has to come in, be processed, then go straight out. There's a little bit of round trip latency. Now, if you've been using synthesizers, anything with a slow attack like pads or chords or whatever, you might not have noticed it because it's quite a small amount of latency. But when you start using drums, like a drum machine, it becomes quite apparent because it's off. The fast attack of the drums is very obviously off. So just to illustrate this, I've got the force sending clock to the syntact, and I want you to listen to the bass, which is coming from the force, and the kick drum, which is coming from the syntact. Now both those notes are exactly on the grid, but you can hear there's a little bit of a flam effect because the kick drum from the syntact is slightly behind, so we've got this kind of flam effect. It's very small, but it's noticeable and annoying, and also if you record the audio onto the arranger, it will be there as well. So it's annoying. So I'm going to show you a way around this. So we're going to look at the mixer now and go to I/O. So what you can see here is track 1, which is the audio input from the syntact. That's going to outputs 1 and 2, our main outs, just like normal. But my internal instruments, so the plug-in instruments from the force, are all being routed to the same submix 1. So if we have a look at submix 1, go to effects, you can see I've got a delay applied to it. And this is the Akai delay, it's not the air one. Switched off at the moment. And settings wise, I've got dry wet set to 100% wet, feedback and damping set to 0, and I've set the time to 15 milliseconds. You'll need to kind of do this by ear. This is what sounded right to me. So basically what it's doing is this effect is applying 15 milliseconds of delay. So if you can picture this, our audio from the syntax is coming in and going straight out. Our internal instruments are going into this delay, being delayed slightly and then sent out. So to show you what that sounds like, this is it with it switched off. So we've got that same kind of flam thing going on. Now if we switch it on, which is engaged the delay, the flam's gone. It's in the pocket. Off, flam comes back. On, it's gone. So it works quite nicely. Basically, if you're playing live or if you're recording, this could be a solution which would allow you to send your drum machine in or your synths in or whatever they might be, and use the internal line-ins instead of having to send everything out to a mixer to get rid of that latency. Now it's not perfect, obviously, because if you're finger drumming on the force, you might notice the latency that you've now applied. That might not feel very good to you. So it's not a perfect fix. I mean, if you need to get rid of all latency, then you basically need to send your external instrument and your force to a mixer so that both sets of audio are kind of going at the same rate or traveling the same distance. It's a terrible way of describing it, but you know what I mean. But if you're recording into the arranger and you're using a drum machine or any sort of external instrument with percussive kinds of sounds, this is a little hack that will allow you to line everything up so that you don't get that horrible flam sound. Let's just listen to it again. This is without it. Flam. With it. No flam. Works pretty nicely. I don't know what that click is. That's horrible. Sorry about that. So yeah, it works pretty nicely. Little hack. I hope that's useful to you. As ever, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, bye.